Hi there. Today let's do something a bit different. I was reading an article in The Independent, that's a British newspaper, fairly recently, and they were talking about the British citizenship test. Have you ever wanted to become a British citizen? Well, you may not, but the test is really interesting. Hello, I'm Hilary, and you're listening to Adept English. We will help you to speak English fluently. All you have to do is listen. So start listening now and find out how it works. So on this test, you have to score 75% correct answers to pass. And I was having a look at the sample questions. Some of them are easy, some of them are really quite difficult. So I thought I'd have a look at the sample questions for the test in the podcast. And it will give you some good general knowledge about the UK. And you can test yourself on these questions. And as ever, I'll be giving you some lovely general English language learning vocabulary as well. What could be better? Before I start that, just a reminder of one of our courses, our most popular course on our website, the Most Common 500 Words course. This is a brilliant course for someone wanting to improve their English vocabulary enough to start speaking English. It's one thing listening to English and understanding it, but there is another step to speaking, and this course can really help you. It's amazing what you can say with just 500 words. And this course gives you lots of corroboration, lots of repeats of those common words so that you really learn them and you know them inside out. You'll have enough words with these 500 words to start making simple sentences and make your meaning clear. That's available on our website at adeptenglish.com. Right, down to business. Let's explore this British citizenship test. Some sample questions. Obviously, if you took the test, your questions would be different, but this gives you an idea of the types of things that they might ask. Now, there are 24 questions, so what I'm going to do is cover 12 of them in this podcast and leave the other 12 for the next podcast, and I'll cover them there. This is really good stuff because there's lots of general knowledge about the UK covered in these questions. So why not test yourself? I'll run through the questions first of all, and then I'll go through the answers with a bit of an explanation. Okay. Number 1. Which of the following is part of the UK? St Helena, Wales, Channel Islands, or Canada? Give you those answers again. Which of the following is part of the UK? A. St Helena, B. Wales, C. the Channel Islands, D. Canada. Just one answer there. Number 2. Which charity works to preserve important buildings? A. the Red Cross, B. the NSPCC, C. Age UK, D. the National Trust. Again. Number 2, which charity works to preserve important buildings? A. the Red Cross, B. the NSPCC, C. Age UK, or D. the National Trust. Number 3, what created the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland? A. the Great Union, B. the Great Governments, C. the Act of Union, D. the Act for the Governments. What created the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland? The Great Union, the Great Governments, the Act of Union, or the Act for the Governments? Question 4. Which of these UK landmarks is in Wales? A. Giant's Causeway, B. Loch Lomond, C. Snowdonia, or D. the Lake District? Number 4. Which of these UK landmarks is in Wales? Giant's Causeway, Loch Lomond, Snowdonia, or the Lake District? Number 5. Which flower is associated with England? A. a shamrock, B. a rose, C. a daffodil, and D. a thistle. Which flower is associated with England? Shamrock, rose, daffodil or thistle? Number 6. Who built the Tower of London? A. Oliver Cromwell, B. Henry VII, C. William the Conqueror or D. Henry VIII? So again, who built the Tower of London? Very famous monument in London. A. Oliver Cromwell, B. Henry VII, C. William the Conqueror or D. Henry VIII? Number 7. When did the first Christian communities appear in Britain? A. 2nd and 3rd century, B. 3rd and 4th century, C. 4th and 5th century, D. 1st and 2nd century. I think that one's quite difficult. Number 7. When did the first Christian communities appear in Britain? 2nd and 3rd century, 3rd and 4th century, 4th and 5th century or 1st and 2nd century? Number 8. When is St. David's Day? A. 17th of March, B. 23rd of April, C. 30th of November or D. 1st of March? Again, when is St. David's Day? 17th of March, 23rd of April, 30th of November or the 1st of March? Number 9. What is the capital of England? I fancy you might know this. Edinburgh, London, Belfast or Cardiff? So A. Edinburgh, B. London, C. Belfast or D. Cardiff? Question 10. Who appoints life peers? That's P-E-E-R-S. A. The Prime Minister, B. The Monarch, C. The Shadow Cabinet or D. The Speaker? Again, who appoints life peers? A. The Prime Minister, B. The Monarch, C. The Shadow Cabinet or D. The Speaker? Number 11. What palace was a cast iron and plate glass building originally erected in Hyde Park, London, England, to house the Great Exhibition of 1851? A. The Great Palace, B. Crystal Palace, C. Gold Palace, D. Dream Palace? So what palace was erected in 1851 to house the Great Exhibition? The Great Palace, Crystal Palace, Gold Palace, Dream Palace? Number 12, last question now. What did the Chartist camp...
Allah